My ex left me because I didn't want kids, then I accidentally got pregnant and really regret not having kids with him. This is my fault, I know this, but I am going to be honest though. I was in a relationship with Sean for 7 years. We both had professional jobs, which we were passionate about. I work in finance, he is a doctor, pediatrician. He was very laid back. Apart from his work, I was the opposite. That meant I generally got my way in most things, which didn't always endear me to his family. They didn't really like me, and I gave back as good as I got, but we coped. He was caught in the middle. My job involved a lot of socializing, some involving significant others. I also enjoy going out and socializing when I'm not working. He attended when he could, but worked a lot of unsocial hours, so couldn't always make it. It was frustrating, and I did resent it a bit. I pressed him to move to a job with more regular hours, as there were such jobs in his field, but he wouldn't. He said it would take him away from the front line. He said his job was important to him, and he was making a difference. It was the second main thing we fought about. The first was kids. He wanted them, I didn't. I wouldn't talk to him about it. I thought he'd accept my viewpoint. He did eventually, and decided he couldn't compromise and left me. He also said it was because of how I treated him, didn't value him, took him for granted, etc. I didn't realize he felt like that at the time. I didn't see it coming, and was devastated. Here's the irony. In my subsequent get over my ex casual relationship, I got pregnant. I could have terminated, but couldn't bring myself to. So I now have a 3-year-old, who is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'd kill and die for her. Her father isn't involved, and yes, it's difficult being her only parent, but I wouldn't change it. Sean was single for longer, but is now with someone and she's pregnant. I'm sure he's thrilled. From social media, I also see that his family love her. My daughter recently had a serious illness. So serious, I was terrified and took her to the hospital at midnight. Various staff saw her before they called the pediatric specialist, Sean. He was amazing and totally professional. He calmed the frightened little girl, was so nice to me, sorted the treatment, etc., etc. Every feeling I had for him came back, and yet I wanted him to change to an easier job. At that moment, I regretted every decision I'd ever made, and so badly wished he was the father of my kid. She's now home and doing well, obviously, as I'm sat here posting on Reddit. And I'm here reflecting on my life. When she was discharged, I offered to buy him a drink, as a friend, nothing more. He refused, saying it was inappropriate because I was his patient's mother. If he'd said it was inappropriate because I was his ex and he had a girlfriend, I'd have actually felt better. It's clear I now mean nothing to him, but why should I? So that's that, onwards and upwards. Well, girl, you were very self-absorbed before, and you wanted him to sacrifice everything he enjoyed and wanted in life to accommodate you, your lifestyle, and your goals. No wonder his family didn't like you. I doubt you would have listened to what he had to say, and I'm sure you would have resented him if he was the father of your child, and you would have blamed him for everything that would have gone against your wishes from then on. But if you were destined to become a mother, probably this was the best way. You had no one to blame but yourself. You accepted the consequences. You had to take responsibility. And it looks like you learned your lesson in thinking about other people and not just you and your needs. Congratulations on your character development. This is harsh, but I can't disagree. Being honest, if I'd become pregnant while I was with him, I probably would have resented him, especially when he was working nights or whatever. It is hard though. Thanks for your comment. Sometimes the truth is hard, but I'm glad you listened. Take what you have learned and use it moving forward. You can't dwell on the past too long. You have a bright future with your beautiful child. And who knows what may happen in the future. Yeah, I'm sure he felt betrayed that you broke up because you didn't want kids, then show up with a kid and the father isn't involved as well. It probably hurt him, just as much as it hurt you of him rejecting you. I think he knew about my daughter before now. We have mutual acquaintances. But I never really heard about it from his side before. Shows how selfish I was, huh? I have seen something like this happening before, and honestly, what he felt at that time was definitely much worse than what she felt being rejected. Unlike Opie, who has her daughter to find comfort and meaning to her choices, at most this was a just good, small and healthy dose of karma for her. For him, however, at that time her ex had nothing of it to find any meaning. Despite 7 years together, she didn't want kids with him, but was totally okay having kids with some random dude she barely knew. That is next level humiliation and disrespect for a man. 7 years of love and devotion thrown in the trash bin in the most callous and humiliating way. Opie being nothing to him right now is ironically the best scenario for them. For him, it is the proof he has fully, and hopefully, overcame the pain and humiliation he endured from her selfishness and is content with his current life. And for Opie, it helps her settle in her new self. But then again, that is not the point here. Let us just be happy for them. For him to have finally find someone compatible and supporting of him, hopefully. And Opie for having grown up and becoming a more mature woman and good mother and a future better partner for someone else, hopefully. I think you also have to see it from his end. You ended with him for his want of children, then immediately got with a person and had a child? Everything you are feeling currently is likely what he felt when he saw you have a child with someone else. I would not go down the road of regret. You have your daughter, and her father is who he is. Every choice in this life leads a different path, but no choice can lead you to the past. You can't live there. Sean isn't the Sean you know, just as you're a different person. The next time you have something good, tend to and cherish it. But don't let this drag you down. Life happens. Your values changed, and that's okay. You and Sean simply weren't compatible because compatibility also requires timing, and that was missed here. I am very much jealous of my husband's ex-wife. I, 40 female, am very much jealous of my husband's, 50 male, ex. Our relationship started with an affair. I know it was wrong. Their marriage was on the rocks, and my husband wanted to end it. When she, 48 female, learned about the affair, she didn't scream or shout at me. She was rather calm. She only asked me if I truly loved her husband. I said yes. She told me that if I am going to be a part of my husband's life, I better treat her kids, 19 female, 16 male, and 14 female, with respect and not push them to accept me. She didn't even create any hassle in the divorce. Things were tough though. My husband's parents and friends really criticized us, and his parents almost disowned him. If it wasn't for his ex, they would have went with it, but his ex convinced them to not cut us off. Their parents did forgive my husband, but I still feel like an outsider to them, but at least they love our kid, for male. My husband's ex is very different. She never held a grudge against me, and always pushed her kids to have a relationship with their dad. His oldest doesn't talk to him because of the divorce, and it always hurts my husband that his daughter wants nothing to do with them. The rest of them are good. They do not love me, but they are very civil. She never badmouthed me or called me a homewrecker. She did her best for the kids. She still tries her best, so that her oldest daughter has a good relationship with her dad. I used to think she is a silly woman for not holding a grudge. She was always nice to me. When I was pregnant, she first congratulated me. And even though she wasn't invited to my baby shower, she sent me a diaper genie as a gift. I always felt guilty that I hurt such a pious woman. To make it more complicated, she is in a relationship with my cousin, 45 male. My parents love her, uncle and aunt love her. Even my cousin's kids love her. She never discriminated between her kids and mine. She always sends some cookies or extra food for my son with her kids whenever it is their visitation time. She even met my son and treats him like her own. For the longest of time, I wondered why she is like this. Is she trying to win her husband back? I even asked her why she doesn't hate me when I was her husband's mistress. And she told me she doesn't see the point because whether or not she hates me, her marriage was over anyways. I am jealous of her. She is not just beautiful, but also graceful. I know I was very much younger than her when my husband started the affair, but I can say she is much more better looking than I am. Even if I took her place in her husband's life, I can never be her. I knew very well I wasn't going to be treated like a good person here. I know I am not a good person either for breaking up a home. So, I am editing this to clear a few things out. I know I made typos. I wrote this in a hurry. I didn't even have time to review what I wrote. I am not in a good position right now, and yes, it is because of my husband too, but that is a story I will share later. Yes, I like her a lot. She is an amazing human. I am glad I don't have any ex-wife drama in my life. And yes, a part of that really makes me insecure, because I keep trying to find a fault in her. Because even my own parents like her when she attended the family functions as my cousin's girlfriend. My cousin and her met each other a year ago when he was visiting me, and she came to drop off my kid along with hers. She sometimes invites my son to her house, that's why she herself dropped him off. I asked her to stay for dinner, and there my cousin and her hit it off and decided to date. That's pretty much it. Also no, this was not written by her. She doesn't use social media that much as far as I know. Not only she got rid of the cheater, but got a new boyfriend and is revered by everyone. Good for her. A true embodiment of living well is the best revenge. Doesn't sound like she's even interested in revenge, which makes the whole thing even sweeter. Hey Opie, you do understand that he's going to replace you too when he's done with your youth? His ex is going to be your best friend. Exactly this, lol. Opie, you are now in the find out portion of the game you entered into. Maybe part of you thinks that if he can cheat and leave a beautiful, graceful, forgiving woman with whom he had built a life with, he will eventually leave his mistress. And it won't be as easy for you to pick up the pieces. You reap what you sow. I also have a lot of regrets. Yes, and no one's gonna support you, Opie. You do realize that, right? If he really leaves you for someone younger, his children from the first marriage may choose to love the new wife. Only person who will choose any kindness to you will be the ex. Let's be honest, if he can cheat on her, such an amazing woman, why won't he cheat on you? It's easier the second time around, and everyone already see you as the evil homewrecker. No one's gonna give him trouble for cheating on you, except the ex, maybe. Perhaps you were hoping that she would treat you terribly, so that you could justify your actions in being the other woman, and contributing to all the pain and hurt that your husband caused. It would be easy to feel justified in a decision to be the affair partner if you can demonize the other woman. Seems like she has moved on and can be happy without any hate in her heart. Good luck to you. Exactly. No one can pull the crazy ex-wife scenario, so Opie and her husband both don't look too great compared to her. Hope Opie moves past it for her own sake. She mentioned she is much younger. I'm not gonna bash Opie more, because the comments have taken care of that. But what I will say is, if a man cheats on his wife for a younger woman, it seems like that woman ignores the fact that she too will grow older. And if he's willing to leave a wonderful woman who he's shared a life with because she's older, well, that's gonna happen again. Dang, she's almost killed you with kindness. And she's not even trying, she just sounds very kind. I too strive to be nice and liked, just for the good of it. I'm not sure about much, but it seems like you just keep saying how kind she is. I'd like to add that people who don't have the life they desire tend to be jealous of those with good lives. As others have stated, just work on yourself. Don't focus on being better or spite or to have one over on someone. Do it for yourself. Take care of your health and your mind. Be kind to others and let it radiate off of you. Because I believe that's what you strive for and can accomplish. I'm not saying you're jealous, can be, or maybe not, but everyone strives to have a happy life and there is nothing wrong with that. It is wrong to be mad others have a happy life out of misplaced anger that you don't have the life you want. Just be the best you that you can be. It's a lifestyle, it takes work every day. I strive for it every day, and you can too. We can all be happy.